So it's now been 3 weeks since Captain Marvel was released, and the reviews show that this is the worst movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe history. So in 10 years, Captain Marvel, the most recent movie, has the worst reviews. And the reason is the directors are not talented enough for what they tried to achieve. So Ryan Fleck and Anna Boden, the two directors, I'm not saying they're terrible directors at all, but they tried to make something that requires a huge amount of skill level. They tried to make an action comic book movie that features politics. And to do that, you need to be the sort of once-in-a-lifetime director, sort of Stanley Kubrick, Steven Spielberg, or Quentin Tarantino. Now, if we have a look at Quentin Tarantino's movie Django Unchained, this is an action-based movie that features politics. And it's a great movie because Quentin Tarantino has the skill level to make that sort of movie. If Marvel went to him and said, we want you to make Captain Marvel, a cinematic comic book movie that features action and politics, Quentin Tarantino has the skill level to do that. But the two directors they hired don't have the skill level to do that. They've shown that. Now, what I also want to say is the Russo brothers, who are directing Endgame, they seem to understand that. They seem to understand that they have a limitation. Their skill set is to make a great comic book movie. But if Marvel went to them and said, we want you to inject politics, I believe the Russo brothers would understand they don't have the skill level to do that. And that's completely fine. Because to make that sort of movie that Marvel wanted to make with Captain Marvel, you need to be in the top 1% of all movie directors. And only very few, obviously, are there. And it's just kind of people like Quentin Tarantino, the household names, that have the skill level to make this sort of movie. And the two directors just do not have the skill level to do that. So I hope that Captain Marvel stands as a warning to Marvel. Because Marvel has shown they can make great comic book movies. But when they start to inject politics, the reviews start to suffer. And if the reviews continue to suffer, many fans will turn away from them. Because I would suggest somewhere around 40% of all people that go to watch Marvel movies are drawn in by the reputation of Marvel. And that's how they've been so successful. And if the reputation starts to suffer, those movie fans won't go and watch these movies. So for me, this is a serious warning to Marvel to really consider what they want to do. If they want to make the sort of movie like Captain Marvel and start to inject politics, they need to go and hire the likes of Quentin Tarantino. And if Quentin Tarantino isn't available, then they need to reconsider what they're going to do. They can take out the politics and continue to make the movies they have done. As soon as they start to take on too much and they try to create almost like a beast, it's like a beast within itself. There's so many different moving parts to what they tried to achieve with Captain Marvel that they couldn't do it. You've got the comic book movie character, you've got the action, you've got the CGI, and then you've got the politics. To wrap all that together and make it into a cohesive movie is a very challenging thing to do. And only the sort of people like Quentin Tarantino have the ability to both to visualise it and then to actually put it on screen. So for me, Marvel really need to consider what they're going to do. Because this movie is shown, the reviews show that Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck are not talented enough. And if you look on the reviews on a number of different websites, the reviews aren't great. So it's not just Rotten Tomatoes, and also the critic reviews. And also the critic reviews also aren't as good as other Marvel movies. So for me, Marvel really needs to sit down and consider what their plans do. And to also appreciate, to make the movies they want to make, they need the top level directors. But if you have any other thoughts, if you completely disagree, if you think Captain Marvel is a great movie, leave your comments below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. But for me, Captain Marvel really stands as a warning that they either need to hire the top level directors or to continue making the sort of movies they have been for the last 10 years. That's the whole message of Captain Marvel to Disney and to Marvel.